Hey everybody, welcome back. This week I am just going to do a shorter video. I just want to go through and make a card to send to some friends. I decided that that would be kind of a fun, cute thing to do, a nice thing, you know, especially because I know a lot of people are not feeling great at this point in the year. So yeah, so I'm just gonna design it. I have no idea at what I'm gonna do. I haven't decided yet. So join me to figure that out and then create the design. Alright, so I was kind of thinking about doing something in a circle, like some sort of little scene or something like that within a circle, just partially due to the fact that like ink is expensive, so if I can not fill an entire card with ink, that would be great. Then I don't have to worry about limiting how many of these I send out. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do something like that. I do want to include maybe some plants in it, just because I personally find plants very soothing and nice, and especially since this is supposed to be a card that hopefully makes somebody feel better, I feel like that would be a nice addition to it. What is happening? Calm down. So yeah, let's get into it, and I will start drawing a mock-up in my journal, and then I will switch over and do the digital version on my phone. Alright, so first I started with just trying to come up with the design. Like I said, I wanted to create something maybe in a circle. I didn't really have a whole lot of plans for this. I did get some sunflowers recently, so I decided maybe I would try drawing some sunflowers, which I soon after regretted because those are challenging to draw. But, you know, it was good practice. So I sketched out some sunflowers on the side, and then decided I might add in like a tree or something like that as well. Ultimately, I just wanted to create something that was pleasant to look at. Like I said, you know, a lot of people are dealing with a lot of stresses right now, and I just wanted to show a little gratitude to my friends. You know, I have been isolating a lot this year, as lots of people have been, and it definitely has been a lot easier to do that with the friend group that I have. You know, we still talk to each other online, and we do digital hangouts every so often, and it's just been really helpful to have that support system. It's really interesting actually, because I feel like the majority of the population has really hated this year, and while I will say it has not been a good year for a lot of things, there have also been a lot of opportunities for me personally, and I think the biggest thing is that those opportunities have presented themselves and then I took advantage of them. And that's the biggest thing. I think is a lot of people, the opportunity may come up, but they might not take advantage of it. And that's really important, is if you want to change your life and you want to go towards another direction, you have to take advantage of those things, even if it's uncomfortable or, you know, you don't totally feel ready to. It's like you just don't know when that opportunity is going to come up again. And for me, I decided to just jump in head first on this. I mean, I worked up to it a little bit, and I'd already had this mindset that I was moving towards. But yeah, just jumping in and deciding, you know what, I want to be a full-time creator, an artist, storyteller. That was huge for me to decide that's the direction I was going to head in. And then I decided, you know, I was going to make it happen. 2020 for me has been a significant year of growth. I mean, just learning so many new things, learning how to create YouTube videos and starting that YouTube channel, learning how to create online classes and starting to put those on Skillshare, learning to get better at drawing. I mean, my skills weren't horrible, but they're not necessarily great and stuff. So, you know, working to improve those and study more on how to draw things, and also digital drawing. That's something that I'm definitely not familiar with, and I know it's kind of an interesting learning curve since I'm just drawing on my phone and not like on an iPad. But it's been just so interesting learning these new things, and it makes me feel really good about myself despite all of the crappy stuff that we're dealing with. And it's been hard, there's definitely times I have to take breaks because it can be exhausting. You can burn out. You can also just feel, the normal stresses of learning new things, not feeling good enough, stuff like that. But ultimately, I am so proud of myself and so happy that I decided to make that leap and follow this path. Definitely one of the hardest things too is just remembering that it takes time. You see a lot of your favorite creators on YouTube or wherever, and they have, thousands of followers, and they're making more than a livable wage and, getting to do awesome stuff. And you just have to keep in mind that they've been doing it a lot longer. And that has been really coming to mind lately because I've seen more recently several artists that I really appreciate, and also several cosplayers who have been doing this for 5+ years. And sure, now they've gotten to a point where they have a pretty decent following, or they're successful, making money from commissions or art in their shop or different things, or their Patreon. They started this a while ago, and so when I get frustrated that things aren't moving as fast as I want them to, I have to remember that they actually are moving at a decent rate. It's normal. The going viral and becoming an internet sensation overnight, that's not normal. That is something that a lot of people want, sure, but that's just not the norm, and you cannot hope. You can hope for it, but you can't expect it. This was the point in my drawing where I had some doubts about whether or not I liked it. I don't know, it just was very soft and fuzzy and didn't thrill me a whole lot, but sometimes, you have to set something aside when you're working on it, because you look at it right away and it just, you don't like it, but then you look at it later and you're like, oh no, that's actually not that bad. So I decided I would just finish the drawing and then look at it later and decide whether or not it was what I wanted to use. I think another thing that's been very interesting for me this year, that I'm kind of surprised about. It's not surprising, but it is. So I feel like I have become a lot more open about things. Just talking about things, in my videos like this, or sharing things with other people. And it was something that I always thought I was pretty much an open book. And I think somewhere along the line that started to change. Maybe that had to do with working in kind of corporate setting, or just dealing with, I had a few jobs before my last one that were pretty toxic, and not good environments. So I would imagine that some of that started there. And giving myself the freedom to say, yeah, I'm going to be doing a creative career, a creative business, and knowing that there are, way less to none as far as restrictions go on that. I can be who I am, I can experiment, I can explore, things like that. That has been a weirdly freeing but also kind of scary experience and realization. But it's been very interesting, and I think I still probably have more progress to make as far as being more open and comfortable with sharing who I am and the things I'm into. But I know I've made a lot of progress this year in opening up and being more comfortable just talking to all of you. And that's been really interesting, and I feel like it's been very healthy. It's a part of what has kind of changed my mindset and made me happier, is not feeling so restricted, because I really dislike feeling restricted. I don't know if you're familiar with the 4 tendencies. If not, go look it up. It's interesting. But I am a rebel, and so feeling, bound or caged or restricted and not able to do what I want to do is something that's a challenge for me. So there we go. There is the completed drawing. Got a little pumpkin on a swing and sunset. so there you go. That is the drawing that I created. I am not 100% satisfied with it, so I might tinker with it some more. The colors and textures they didn't quite turn out the way I wanted, which is, you know, to be expected because I didn't have a clear idea in my mind, and I also am still new to that app, so figuring out like how the different brushes and tools and things like that look is a bit of a trial and error for me. But yeah, we'll see. I will tinker with it a little bit more and see if it's the design that I want to go with, and if so, I'm going to print it on some cards and send those off. But yeah, it was just kind of a fun little exercise, practicing some drawing. I certainly have days where I feel much better about my drawings than other days, so it's always interesting to see which day we're on. But I do enjoy just practicing and seeing improvement in myself, so that's something that's really nice. And then especially, it's so much easier now that I've got the stylus. I was kind of tinkering before with some drawings just using my fingers, and I don't know why I thought that was the thing. It's not, FYI, if you didn't know, it's not. So yeah, I got this stylus from Adonit, and it's pretty good. I would imagine the stylus with iPads work a little bit better because they're a little more geared towards it, and it's also Bluetooth, so you don't have to worry about, from what I understand, you don't have to worry about like your hand touching the screen. But I'm not spending that money right now because that adds up. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Again, drawing, I'm still learning and getting better at it, especially at digital drawing, so it's definitely something I'm not super comfortable with, but I just thought it would be kind of fun to see, you know, a little bit of my process and how I do stuff and play with that now, and then also then I can look at it later and see how far I've come and that sort of thing. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you are interested in seeing more videos like this one, or I also talk about other art forms that I do a lot of storytelling as far as like written stuff and telling stories in film format and things like that, go ahead and give it a subscribe to my channel. I put out a new video every Friday, and yeah, it's a wacky fun time. Otherwise, I hope you're all taking care of yourselves and staying healthy and happy, and I will see you all next week. Bye!